Oftentimes as a digital nomad, it can be hard to stay in shape. Whether you're traveling frequently and can't get into a routine, live in a different time zone than your job and are forced to work unusual hours, don't have access to the amenities you're used to, or too easily fall into temptation, it's not uncommon to gain weight while traveling. I'm guilty myself. I went a little overboard during the holidays. I ate like an actor trying to gain weight for a role. I put on 10 pounds in a month. There's the gut in the Christmas photo to prove it. This, my friends, is what a diet of red 40 and high fructose corn syrup will do to you. So what's the big deal? Everybody gains weight around the holidays, it's normal. I've lost 70 pounds before, so I know how to lose it. The problem is, I have to do it quickly. I have a good reason to get in shape fast. I'm getting married to the love of my life in Cancun in 4 months. Well, we're actually already married, but it was a small civil ceremony and not everyone we wanted to be there could make it. So for our symbolic and religious ceremony, I'd like my guests not to think that I was pre-gaming the all-inclusive for 6 months before the wedding. Jokes and my glaring insecurities aside, I want to make my health a bigger focus this year. After running my first ever marathon in 2023, I didn't run at all last year. And because I travel a lot as a digital nomad, I haven't even had a gym membership in over a year. But it's not just my conditioning that has fell to the wayside. I've been working as a freelance video editor, so I spend sometimes up to 10 hours a day hunched over in front of a computer, and my posture has suffered. I've been eating dinner and going to bed later and later, so I've wound up with indigestion and insomnia. I want to be able to enjoy my wedding, but I also just want to feel healthier overall. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing the plan I've made of how I'm going to get in shape this year as a digital nomad by fixing my sleep, posture, and losing weight. Starting with how I plan to fix my posture. Having bad posture doesn't just make you look like Giorgione, the 5th unathletic Ninja Turtle. It can come with some serious health risks. According to an article published by Harvard Medical School, bad posture can lead to incontinence, constipation, heartburn, slowed digestion, breathing problems, as well as neck and back pain. The biggest problem I've noticed from bad posture is pain in my neck and upper back. In the past, I worked on a tiny laptop, and during that time I noticed a lot of neck pain, but I didn't know what was causing it. One day it finally clicked that the pain went away when I just picked my head up. So I bought a laptop riser. And just like that, my neck pain went away. But since then I've upgraded to a 2-monitor setup, and recently I've noticed that neck pain coming back. I think the reason for this is the exact same it was the last time. I just need to pick my head up. So if I just put some books underneath my monitor, or anything that can elevate it just a little, that should improve my posture. You can also buy a monitor stand. Books are the budget option. The article also mentions lumbar support as a way to improve posture, which the chair I work on has none of. So to fix this, I can just add a small pillow behind my lower back to help keep me in an upright position. The article also mentions changing your position every 30 to 60 minutes, which is something I can begin to implement because I've been known to spend multiple hours long editing marathons sitting at my desk without moving at all. A standing desk would be ideal for this so I can just stand up while I'm working, but that's pretty hard to bring with me when I'm traveling. Luckily, the house that I'm living in does have this high counter that I can work on, so to get a break from sitting for so long, I can just move over there. But if you don't have a high surface you can work on, I did find these ergonomic desk converters online, which could potentially fit in a carry-on or a checked bag. If not, they should definitely make that. Another way I can change my position every 30 to 60 minutes is by getting up and taking a walk. And this will also help me with my goal of losing weight. This 2023 article published in the scientific journal Neuroscience says that walking decreases the risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cognitive decline and dementia, as well as improving mental health, sleep, and just your overall chances of dying. It also improves blood pressure, lowers cancer risks, improves bone health, and reduces the risk of respiratory disease. And on top of all that, it can help you lose weight. Another 2011 article from the International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition and Physical Activity recommends walking at least 7,000 steps a day for able-bodied adults aged 20 to 65. The article pointed to studies that found that women who took 5,000 to 7,500 steps a day had a significantly lower BMI than those who took less than 5,000 steps per day. Further, women who took 7,500 to 9,999 steps a day had a significantly lower BMI than those who took 5,000 to 7,500 steps a day. For men, the article says that an extra 2,000 steps a day for someone habitually taking only 2,000 steps a day was associated with a 2.8 centimeter lower waist circumference in men compared with a 0.7 centimeter lower for men already walking 10,000 steps a day. Hour-long daily walks are something I've already started to implement since coming back to Mexico, and it's actually something I've been doing for a long time, and since coming back to Mexico, I've already started to lose weight. I do plan on starting to run again for cardio, but walking will always be the GOAT for all of the reasons I mentioned above, and because I've noticed that when I'm running a lot more, I notice I get a lot hungrier, and it's actually harder to lose weight. But daily walks don't have that effect on me. So to help me lose weight, I plan on getting anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. Walking is ideal for digital nomads because you don't need a gym membership, you don't need any equipment, and you get to explore the places you're living in. And I understand that not everybody has an hour in the morning to go out and walk, but the studies I mentioned earlier all say that if you currently get less than 10,000 steps a day, any increase in the amount of steps you can get will be beneficial. So I think it's fair to say that good things come to those who walk. But even if I increase my step count, I won't lose weight if I'm not burning more calories than I consume. So I plan on doing that by paying attention to my diet as well. My wife and I have actually cut out alcohol this month as part of Dry January. And this isn't because we have a drinking problem, but because alcohol is super high in calories. Things like alcohol, pop, juices, sauces, and dressings are sneaky calories because it doesn't feel like you're consuming a lot, but the calories really do add up. So I'm gonna cut those out. Unfortunately, I'll also have to limit my eating out, which I know is one of the best parts of being a digital nomad because you can find delicious cuisine for dirt cheap while traveling. But when you eat out, you really have no idea what and how much of every ingredient they're putting in your food. So cooking at home makes it a lot easier because you can track every single ingredient that you put into what you cook. I'm also gonna cut out processed foods like chips, candies, pastries, basically anything you can find in an OXXO. Processed foods in Mexico actually have warning labels on the packaging, which tell you if the food has excess calories, sugar, fat, or sodium, which is similar to the Nutri-Scores I've seen in Europe, but not something I've ever seen in the US. But no matter where in the world you are, even if your food doesn't have warning labels, you probably, hopefully, have access to real foods, which is what I plan on basing my diet around. What I mean by real foods is one ingredient foods. Things like eggs, broccoli, rice, ground beef. You can also call them whole foods. Now, there's a lot of research showing why eating these foods is good for you, but I'm not gonna go into that because this isn't a nutrition channel. The point is that as a digital nomad, it can sometimes be hard to find specific foods for specific diets in foreign countries, but you can almost always find real whole foods. And you might think buying healthy whole foods is more expensive, but it's actually not. Anecdotally, I found that fruits and vegetables tend to be way cheaper in countries I've lived in outside of the United States, like pennies on the dollar. And in a 2010 study published by the research journal Family Medicine, it was actually found that buying and preparing whole foods is half as expensive as eating convenience foods. Sometimes just eating whole foods and cutting out the bad stuff is enough, but I also plan on using a calorie tracking app to keep track of how many calories I'm eating every day. I use MyFitnessPal, and when you make an account, you can add your height, weight, and goals to your profile, and will automatically calculate how many calories you should consume to reach your goals. While I'm losing weight, I also want to maintain the muscle that I have, so using MyFitnessPal or another calorie tracking app like that is also good to keep track of how much protein you're consuming. I'm aiming for around 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, which I've seen recommended to help build and maintain muscle. But if you don't use it, you lose it. So I'm going to be doing calisthenics as a form of resistance training to help me maintain my muscle. As a digital nomad, calisthenics is perfect because your equipment follows you everywhere you go. It's you. You're the equipment. There's a ton of great resources online from people who are way more qualified than me to give you a workout program, but basically I plan on following a push-pull legs routine. So that means one day I'll do push exercises like push-ups, dips, and pike press, and then the next day I'll do pull exercises like pull-ups, chin-ups, and rows. I know I also mentioned legs in this workout program, but to be honest, I've always had big legs, and that's not a flex, that's just a result of being a former fat kid. So honestly, for leg day, I might just go for a run or work on athleticism by doing things like pistol squats and broad jumps. Again, things that don't require any equipment. Okay, so the final thing I want to work on is my sleep schedule. As a freelancer, I set my own schedule, which means I always end up finishing work late, which means I work out late, eat dinner late, and go to bed late. So I want to fix this. Luckily, all of the habits I've mentioned so far in this video can help improve my sleep. The podcaster and neuroscientist Andrew Huberman swears by walking in direct sunlight first thing in the morning to improve your immune system, metabolism, and focus, as well as set your circadian rhythm. And we all know cicadas have rhythm. What? It's pronounced cicada? Okay, I'm sorry for that. Anyways, your circadian rhythm is what tells your body when to wake up and when to go to bed. And getting direct sunlight when you first wake up helps you feel sleepy at night. But sunlight is a form of blue light, which is the same type of light produced by smartphones, tablets, computer monitors, and LED TVs. I don't think it's new information that viewing these things before bed can hurt your sleep because it's like telling your body that it's still daytime and not time to go to bed yet. So to help me fix my sleep schedule, I plan on replacing TikTok before bed. RIP with reading. I've been reading 30 minutes to an hour before bed, and I've noticed I fall asleep much quicker when I stop reading than I do when I stop scrolling. I basically pass right out, whereas before I would toss and turn and not be able to fall asleep. If you're a digital nomad, I highly recommend getting an e-reader of some sort because they're much lighter to carry around than a bunch of books, and they produce less blue light than a smartphone or a tablet. My wife got me a Kindle for Christmas, and I use it every day now. And working out can also help my sleep schedule. Studies have shown that regular physical activity can improve sleep quality and help manage insomnia. I mean, it makes sense. When you work out, you burn more energy, which makes you tired when it's time to go to sleep. But there's a catch. They've also found that high-intensity exercise right before bed can actually disrupt your sleep. So it's best to get it done a few hours before bed. For me, because I use my mornings for long walks, that means having a hard cutoff time to stop work so I have enough time to work out and eat dinner before 10 p.m., which is when I would like to go to bed. Speaking of which, this video is getting kind of long and it's getting kind of late, so I gotta stop working and go work out. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank you to my Patreon supporters, and if you want to know how you can actually achieve your goals this year as a digital nomad, then check out this video.